Do you have money jitters? Ask your nearest Bank of America branch for a jar of soothing instant money, M-O-N-E-Y, in the form of a time plan personal loan. Available only at Bank of America.
We're going to look inside a commercial bank and learn how banks serve us.
You can't buy a toaster in America that has a 1 in 5 chance of exploding, but you can buy a mortgage that has a 1 in 5 chance of exploding, and they don't even have to tell you about it.
If there were too many speculators in the market, that speculators would begin to affect prices artificially. So they place limits on how many speculators there could be.
Traditionally, banks made loans to individuals. What banks do with their loans now is they make the loan, and then they sell the loan to third parties. Third parties essentially buy stock in the loan.
And the connections of the small group of Wall Street types that are making decisions.
But the reality was they were just taking absolutely worthless stuff and sticking it with these people and then fleeing the scene. This is no different than drug dealers who take a bag of oregano and sell it to you as, a pound of weed.
Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner appointed Mark Patterson, and this is a former top lobbyist for Goldman Sachs, as his chief of staff.
Congress decided to deregulate this market. So there were no rules.
Goldman Sachs was hit today with a record fine of $550 million.
The SEC accused Goldman of setting up a group of investments to sell clients in 2007, knowing that another of its major clients was betting heavily these same investments would fail.
They thought they were printing money.
Financing the mercenaries and the terrorists in various countries, just like they're financing the bonuses on Wall Street. They're arbitrageurs. They have no sovereignty. They have no country they're affiliated with. They're amoral. They're just eunuchs. They're plowing through the cyberspace of money, looking for, like a sloth, like a slug looking for salt. They're not even human.
Should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out there? No, no, no. Bear Stearns is fine. Do not take your money. I believe in the Bear franchise. You know what? It's $69. I'm not giving up on the thing. Yeah!
Of course, while Cramer wasn't giving up on Bear at 69, 11 days later, the stock market was more comfortable with it at 2.
I do not believe that the only person who's qualified to be the chief of staff of the Treasury Department is a Goldman Sachs lobbyist.
The silent coup d'etat, where the Goldman Sachs and their friends now control the U.S. government.
There were many bets placed on whether the loan would be paid off or would not be paid off. In this deregulated world, 3 times the number of policies were issued to people who did not have anything at risk, simply wanted to make a bet that homeowners would not pay their mortgages. Now, if there's an economic value to that, I need some further education.
Right now, breaking news here, stocks all around the world are tanking because of the crisis on Wall Street.
Down 300 points this morning, Robin, so that gives you an indication of how jittery the markets are. Around the world, both Asian and European shares are sharply lower.
2 of the biggest firms on Wall Street are no more. They're kaput this morning.
It's going to be Armageddon.
We see the working poor, the middle class, under tremendous stress, and yet they're the ones who are being hit hardest.
People realize this is something we're going to be talking to our kids and our grandkids for a long, long time.
Now priced at $206,000.
Now a growing number of homeowners are making the decision to just walk away from those houses.
Drop what you're doing, go to the ATM, and take money out. Take the maximum $500 we can. And she said, why? I said, because I'm not sure the banks will be open tomorrow.
Half of the foreclosed homes Realtor Myra Beams handles are damaged, often by angry or desperate owners.
Now they're getting fat bonuses while millions of Americans are watching their nest eggs evaporate.
9 of the nation's biggest banks reported losses of $82 billion while paying bonuses totaling $33 billion to employees. Banks that took taxpayer bailout money.
Total bonus pool for Wall Street is going to be $145 billion.
Sincere congratulations to everybody out there who pays taxes in the United States. We just bought an insurance company. Congratulations.
There is a $4 trillion worldwide hole in the economy.
Further suffering
fraud scheme. And the only reason that people aren't angrier about this, I think, is because they don't really understand what happened. If we couldn't find a single person on Wall Street to do even a day in jail for losing 40% of the world's wealth in a criminal fraud scheme.
We concluded, first and foremost, that this crisis was avoidable.
Tell the committee what you received. How much money? $20 billion. You are pretending that you didn't ask for help.
A full-time job is trying to find out what happened to our money and will we ever get anything back?
Angry investors have staged similar protests demanding compensation.
91% of that money went to Wall Street, 9% of it went to American citizens.
Over 200 members of the International Union of Sheet Metal Workers and Painters stormed into the Mortgage Bankers Association conference.
Literally stealing $100 million a day. Goldman Sachs is stealing every day on the floor of the exchange. They should be in The Hague. They should be taken up on financial terrorism charges, and they should all be thrown in jail.
At least at risk some $24 trillion.
My final question is, why shouldn't we ask for your resignation as Secretary of the Treasury?
They should all be charged with racketeering and thrown in jail as racketeers. Until they figure that out, the vampires will run riot.
The bankers and the government combined to rob us blind.